Hi, group number twos. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we are doing a video about the Hierophant card. So the Hierophant is the 5th card in the major arcanas. Normally they are depicted as a pope-like figure sitting on a throne, preaching or prophesying or whatever. Anyway, but you guys chose the Wildwood tarot deck, so this is your Hierophant. They are called the Ancestor in this deck. And in this deck, they really talk about the path that you are called towards. So still very like religious feeling, but not much less organized religion, much more like old world type religion. And this ancestor talks a lot about listening to the ancestors or deities that have called us on a certain path and following this new path and listening to our own spiritual voice and following that path and like really connecting to spirituality and nature and all those things. So that's your card number twos. So I'm going to tell you as I like go through this spread, I'm going to tell you what each thing does, but we're going to put him back in the deck and we're going to shuffle and do our spread. So this spread is called the Hierophant, a tarot spread for reconnecting with the sacred, which is, I like the word sacred, especially with this group, since this group's tarot deck is much less about structure and much more about following the wild path. So there are 5 cards in this spread. They are the Message, the Querent, the Earthly Action, the Belonging, and the Guidance. So I will explain what each of those mean as we pull them. But let's do this, shall we, group number twos? It's a very spiritual reading this week. So, guides, deities, universe, please give me the cards that group number 2 needs for this Hierophant. Hierophant, the Ancestor, give us answers to these very important questions. Thank you so much. So, oh, these cards are a bit bigger than our previous group, but I think we'll be able to get it. There we go. All right. So, group number 2s, let's check it out. So your first card, this is the Message. What divine messages are emerging? What are you being called to? And the card you guys have is the Ace of Vessels, which is the Ace of Cups in this deck. And its little tag here says the Water of Life. So this is bringing to mind that the message from your guides, from the divine, is that we should be enjoying this life because there's only one of this life. Maybe there are others if you believe in reincarnation, or maybe there's not if you believe you're a soul meant to have one life on this planet. But there's not a lot to this life. We don't live here very long. In the grand scheme of things, 100 years is not much. So your guides are saying to enjoy life, to savor life, to allow yourself to become a cup, to receive the joys of life, to receive the pains of life, to receive the bounty of life, to receive the water of life. Yeah. What are you being called to? You're being called to savor and enjoy life, to this is super cheesy and it frustrates me sometimes when I hear it and I'm in a rough spot, but to enjoy the journey and focus less on the destination. The journey is the point. The growth is the point. Let yourself be watered. So this next card that we have here, this is the Querent. This is, what is your current state? In what ways is the divine message being communicated through you? And how is it molded and shaped? And you guys got the Four of Arrows, rest. Now this is the Four of Swords in this deck. And yeah, so with the message of like, you should be savoring and enjoying, and then to get rest right after that, I feel like you've been running 100 million miles a minute and you have not been able to actually savor and enjoy your successes or the moments of joy or the moments of success and victory, because you are not sitting still. So there's this message that the way that the divine would like to work through you to show you the beauties of life is you need to slow down a little bit. We need to, and I know if you're somebody who is going 1,000,000 miles a minute because you have to make rent, like this message feels very like an attack to you, but that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about, on your drive to work, look at the pretty flowers. They're talking about, in the midst of your work day, notice what coworker smiled at you today. Notice how hard you laughed at that joke that they said. Notice the beautiful gift of food someone gave you, or the beautiful gift of food you give yourself, or that you were able to find 15 minutes to just nap today, or watch your dumb show that you love, or find moments of rest. Moments where you can let your mind go and just be like, we're not going to think about the stress. We're going to observe all of the things that made us genuinely happy today. And if there wasn't any of those moments today, maybe we look at how that could have been a whole lot worse. Like when I get stuck in like 3 hours of traffic sometimes, like at least I'm not the person that caused this 3-hour delay in traffic. At least I'm not in that accident right now because I could not afford to go to the hospital. Like that kind of stuff. Like that might feel really morbid to some people, but for other people who have a really hard time finding something positive, it's a morbidly fun way to be like, hey, thanks for not doing that to me. You know? Enjoy that gift that life gave you today. At least I wasn't that guy that slipped on this banana peel and got pudding all over my head. I don't know. So, yeah. The divine wants to show you in your current state that there are things that are beautiful like a butterfly. There are things that are marvelous and worth looking at. But you need to slow down a little bit. You need to rest a little bit. You need to activate your mind in a different way to bring you rest and peace. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're somebody who suffers with anxiety, I know that this is a crazy message for you to hear, but like, if you work with a therapist or even if you do some research on your own, there are ways to trick the brain. That sounds crazy, especially if you're diagnosed with anxiety, but there's still ways to trick a diagnosed anxiety brain. Some of them are really stupid, but if it works, right? So do some research on how to trick your brain into resting. There are TikToks about it out there, and some of them really work and in weird ways. So, yeah, do that. Okay, so this next card, 3, this is earthly action. What practical action can you do to take this message and put it into action in your daily life? And you guys have card 8, the stag. Now, this deck, card 8 is strength. This is the strength card. The stag. He is in a very strong image. So, strength. Okay, so strength is often depicted as a woman taming a lion, like she's caring for the lion and he's being gentle with her. And the message is that strength is not always like battle and war. It is sometimes more subtle than that. And the real strength there in that image is to show kindness even to a violent creature such as a lion. In this image, this man stag, he is the beast. He is the man. He is the master of both. So what I'm seeing here is that the thing that you can work on, your earthly action that you can work on is taming your own beast. Which could mean your mind, it could mean your emotions, it could mean your schedule, it could mean your eating habits that might make you feel better. The things that you find enjoyable in life, the things that your guides would like you to slow down and take recognition of, they will be better received and understood and enjoyed if your mind is in a state of control. If you are not letting your mind run rampant in the worst of the world. Yeah. If you are not allowing your imagination to run away with you to the worst places imaginable. This takes strength. It could also be talking about having strength over your emotions, recognizing and understanding that this is an emotion and it will pass, and not giving in to the destructive element of that emotion. Recognizing it, saying, hello, I understand you're upset with this right now, but in a minute we will be less upset, so let's make decisions that will enable us to take care of ourselves even in this moment of high emotion. So it's taking care of yourself, really. Taming your own beast, taking care of ourselves to really enable us to enjoy life. So, the next card we have for you guys is belonging. This is the card of belonging. How do I find people that support me? Who is my foundation? Who gives me a feeling of belonging, of connectedness, of a greater whole? So, the card that you got here is the wheel. Ooh, this is interesting. The wheel. So this is the Wheel of Fortune card, or the Wheel of Time. Both? This is the Wheel card. It talks about the transition of time and power and all those things. Like, time is inevitable, so change is inevitable. So the moving of one season into the next is inevitable. So as a card talking about belonging, how do I find the people that support me? sometimes it just takes time to find your soul family, to find the people that are going to take care of you, that want to be there for you, that are your support system. Sometimes it just takes time. Sometimes relationships start out really slow and grow into these beautiful things. So I think your guides are saying that there might be some people that are already in your life that will be those people for you, be those foundation people for you, but it takes time and effort to put into these relationships for them to become that. I think it's also saying that, like, to weave this beautiful garment that the person is weaving in this. To weave something takes a lot of time and a lot of patience and building, and that's the same as any relationship. The time you put into each relationship, the effort you put into each relationship will determine what it weaves into. In that case, it does take two people. So if somebody else isn't putting the weaving effort in, then this tapestry will only be partially complete. So it won't feel as supported. But what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that the wheel of time turns, and sometimes relationships take time to build, so there needs to be patience. There needs to be, we need to enjoy the journey. Again, is another message of enjoy the journey. The journey is how we get so close to people. The highs, the lows, the winters, the summers, those are how we interact with people. Those are how we develop relationships. They're not going to be instantaneous. You got to develop them over time. The best relationships are not instantaneous. They take time and effort. So, your answer to where you will find connectedness is all around you. You just have to take time to invest in those relationships. Okay? Hope that made sense. So, the last card I have for you guys is guidance. Where can I find advice and further guidance, mentorship, and education? And the card you guys got is the Eight of Stones. This is the Eight of Pentacles. And it talks about skill. Skill and mastery. Patience. That is your guidance. Patience. It takes time. It takes time to master thyself. It takes time to master relationships. It takes time to master the art of receiving good things, especially if you're somebody who's had a hard life. Like, once you find yourself in a safe space, it can take a really long time to feel safe in that safe space because of the history you've had. And your guides are really saying, have patience with yourself. Have patience. Time is moving, and it will... Time is what is needed in all of these areas. Time and patience to allow things to develop, to allow yourself to get mastery over certain things, to have better understanding of how the world works and how the world is. You need time and patience and love for yourself to get through this. and you'll find enjoyment on the other side. I promise. So, last but not least, I am going to pull you some cards from 2 different oracle decks because I feel like it. So, we're going to pull a card or 2 from my Messenger Oracle, and then we're going to pull a card from our Kunyin Oracle, and that will be your reading, you guys. Okay, group number 2s. Okay. Hierophant, would you please give us any parting messages you have about reconnecting with the divine, reconnecting with the joy of life, reconnecting with relationships, and reconnecting with self? Whoa, that one flew over here. Hold on a second. Here it is. Okay. Oh, there's 2 there. Okay, so that one. And then we're going to shuffle our Kunyin deck and get one from her. Kunyin, would you please give us one final message for my group 2s about this journey to reconnection that they are on right now? One card, that one, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show you these 3 cards first, and then we'll look at Kunyin's. So the first one you have, wow, is you guys got the Time to Ground card. Time to Ground. Yeah. I'll put it right here next to the Rest card. And then we also have Nourish the Soul. Nourish the Soul. And last but not least, we have Do Not Fear the Unknown. Wow. Yeah. I love this for you guys. So, now I'm going to read you Kunyin. This is the Kunyin card that you guys got. And it is the Mother of Mercy card. The Mother of Mercy. I'm going to read it to you. Mother of Mercy. Dispensations of mercy come when we are without recourse, ending a cycle of manipulation, unkindness, or unconsciousness. This spiritual assistance is offered to you now from a place of loving respect, kindness, and a great spiritual power. Blessings to Kunyin, Mother of Mercy, who watches over us with attentive love and cares for our spiritual progress. Aw, that's beautiful. Well, group number 2s, I'm actually also going to read you Nourish the Soul out of the book because I feel like that was like the theme of your reading. So let's read it. Nourish the soul. Drink in life. Use your senses to explore your world, to see, touch, taste, smell, hear, and experience all that is within you and around you. Your journey through life is meant to be a sensory experience. Your life is meant to be a rainbow of color, full of motion and sound. It is not meant to be bland, tasteless, of simply black and white. Be sensual. Explore yourself and your world every day and nourish your soul with every moment. Aww. Well, that's all I'm seeing for you guys, group number 2s. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you liked this video. If you check out my Instagram, there's a mini Hierophant reading that is just 3 cards and super cute. Check it out. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you have a blessed everything. And this was Pan. I'll see you at the next reading. Bye, you guys.